Because of who you are, I'll give you praise. Because of who you are, Jehovah Jireh, my provider. Anyway, y'all. Okay, look. This is like totally off the hair subject, but I just had to come on here and say this because, I mean, I know it's probably been already said, already done, because the situation's already said and done. It's been done, it's been taped, it's been recorded, it's been played, rewinded, fast forwarded, paused, and played again. So this moment, this event, this occurrence that I'm talking about is the Celebration of Gospel 2011 that just occurred, what, in January? And, you know, I watched it specifically for... well, not specifically, but certain television shows I go on, especially with BET, they allow you to go onto the site after it's happened and see who performed what. And so just like with the honoree thingamajigger, with the Celebration of Gospel, I did the same thing. So this year, it had that Jessica Reedy, Iana Crawley, and some others, Kelly Price, and, you know, things of that nature was going to be singing. And then there was going to be Whitney Houston and Kim Burrell. And I said to myself, you know, oh my God, I'm not going to watch that because Whitney, she's just so, you know, Whitney's over and done with. She couldn't sing it perfect enough to save her life. That's me. That's the devil working in me. You know, I shouldn't have said that. So look, so I guess, you know, you want to clock the T on this, I guess you want to call it whatever. So, you know, I listened to the performance that I wanted to listen to, but I was not going to listen to the Whitney Houston performance because some moments, when people sing, sometimes I get frightened for them. And when they sing bad notes, it just ruined the whole experience for me. So I was like, well, you know, Kim Burrell, she's a beast in her, you know, beast all by herself. So it's like, okay, if you take somebody who has been down so much, you know, diluted with so much hate, it's like, okay, I wouldn't watch her. So if you put hate with something that's God-like, I didn't think to be like, okay, if you bring God over to somebody, you know, and let God, you know, put God in them and God be glorified through them, I didn't think about it that way. That was my carnal mind. So honey, look, like I said, after I get done watching my Iana Crawley and Jessica Reedy just killed the whole performance to me with that one note in the beginning there. I didn't gonna go there because, you know, I can't take it. So Jessica Reedy killed that, and then like that whole, and then Leandra Crawford, she ended it like those three just should have been singing because, in my own opinion, those right there are just to me, you know, Jessica and Iana kind of clash a little bit, but those three right there is a trio. If you would have put Crystal Aiken in there, baby, that would have been a gumbo, you know. So they also had, who was that girl? Shantae Moore. Question mark. And then you had Kelly Price, who's a beast by herself, to come in, and she sings loud, so she like oversang everybody. There were times in the performance where she gave them a chance to be like, okay, I'm about to take this moment, but I know Jessica can't scream, so I know she wouldn't about to step out and be like, I'm not about to embarrass myself. So that left the spot for, to me, Iana, because to me she's good at that. Shantae, I don't know. She has that one high thing she does all the time, but that's about it. Leandra, she could have did that, but I think that Iana, she has that. Well, they both have a powerhouse, but it's just like Iana, to me, she should have just was like, you know, this is my moment, blah blah blah, at this section here. So anyway, fast forward to today. I was on YouTube. I'm always on YouTube. And so I'm like, okay, well, let me set myself up for this song, this performance, because I hadn't heard it before. And I know I heard Whitney Houston's past performances when she was in Australia, and everybody was like, oh, it was like, she couldn't sing to a dead to a dead rat, and that was all I needed to hear. Like, I was listening to some of her performances, and I was like, Whitney, honey, boo-boo, like, what happened? So, that just turned me off of Whitney. And, you know, Whitney, she can make me cry at times with her songs in the studio. Like, you know, if I told you that I wanted to see you, and I learned from the best. I learned from you. I'm working on my vocal training, so she could kill me with that. But that was back then when she had that and I voice. So ever since she been, she ain't been sounding the same. So she put out a Christmas album, and I was listening to it all through Target. Like Target, one Christmas they had this thing where they was posting her CD out, her Christmas CD, and it would play over and over and over. And all I heard was, I was like, okay, is that Whitney? Let me come back around and listen to this again. So it was Whitney, and I was in shock. So I was like, Whitney, I'm going to have to separate from you. We're going to have to go our separate ways because your music is just not getting it for me. I listen to, I'm your baby tonight, but I know that's not Christ-like. But, in my moments, in my time of need, so like I was saying, in my time of need, I would listen to me some Whitney. I will throw the house down with some Whitney. I can't scream like her because I'm not there yet. I don't think I'll ever be. But anyway, getting back to the situation. So I'm listening to this song, and Kim Burrell comes out and she does that thing with the whole that thing she always does with her voice and stuff. So I get all So Whitney comes out, everybody stands up, and I'm thinking like, oh my God, this is gonna be a catastrophe. This is gonna be a Nicki Minaj moment. So I'm like, I was totally shocked. Like I'm thinking she just about to just crack this like all over the place. But I forgot that Kim came on a previous show, the honorees, celebrating honorees, and they honored Whitney with Kim. So Kim came and sang this song called it was a remake of Whitney's I Believe in You and Me, and basically her version was I believe in you and you were free, basically. And she was telling about their relationship, about how Whitney called her on the phone, and she was saying like, oh, and they clicked like that. And so I guess, Whitney, Kim helped Whitney with her, was trying to, help her with her vocals and stuff. And, Whitney, she's better. She's not like she was, but she's better. And then when I just heard the whole performance, I went to speaking in tongues, honey. I just said, oh my God, I felt like Tony. I just had to I had to do a dance right quick, because seriously, Whitney, I mean, just those two alone are a powerhouse to me. Kim, like I said, she can stand alone, but when two or three are gathered, in the Bible says when two or three are gathered, he should be in the midst. And so I felt that whole thing. It's just like when something is anointed, you don't touch it. You just, stand back and let it work. And that right there is something that you can't touch. You can't touch that. It's just so powerful, the way that connection, that bond is just like, okay, we coming to make the devil mad. It's crazy. So, I mean, I just had to come and say that, like, y'all don't sleep on Whitney. Seriously, I shouldn't have slept on Whitney, but, at the time, she wasn't where she was at, and, she didn't have the proper guidance in the spiritual guidance, the whole 9 yards she needed to help her through her time of trouble. So it was just like, okay, it was like, God, I'm sorry for like downing Whitney. I really am. And I was just like, I was sitting there screaming at the computer screen like, oh my God, you better go, Whitney, praise him. Like, oh my God, it was crazy. Y'all need to go watch that whole thing, because matter of fact, I'm about to go watch it again. That's how much I love it. And she just, I can't even speak no more. It's just, it's touching. Like, I mean, if that should be Whitney's voice for the rest of the year, for the rest of her life, if it don't get no better, Heck, if it gets even worse, that is what it should so happen to do. But Whitney, I love you anyhow. God has blessed you anyhow. God is blessing you anyhow, and we thank him for you anyhow. So, you know, that's my little spiel on that. And, you know, I wish I had watched this sooner, and I wish I hadn't listened to all the demons in my ear and all. You know, everybody was saying, oh my God, she sounds so bad. You know, she just jacked that up. And I was sitting there going along with it like, oh my God, yeah, I know. Like, oh my God, I heard it was bad. And I just started, you know, running my mouth like, okay, yeah, she was bad in Australia, but I bet she worse now. She done got on stage and everybody done booed her and throw tomatoes at her and paper and sticks and stones and stuff. And I was like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just had to do a double take right there because, like I said, that's something you shouldn't touch. And I shouldn't have touched it. And I'm surely being rebuked for it. So now I got to go, after I listen to this video, get on, you know, my face and read some words or something, because that right there was powerful. That was powerful. So, yeah, I'm leaving now because I have to go pick some things up from, you know, where I need to go pick them up from. And I'll be praying for you guys, seriously. I love you guys. I love the world. Because the Lord says we should love the world, and without it, we're doomed to hell and damnation. You should love, forgive. Do y'all notice anything different about me? Seriously? I do. There's a change in me. I've got a new attitude, a whole different personality, and it's you, Spirit. And I want the world to know I'm not at all acting funny. Because of you I have a spiritual glow. A spiritual glow. Whoa. Ooh. Y'all know nothing about that. Y'all know nothing about that Kurt Franklin and family. Y'all know nothing about that. So anyway, I love you guys. Comment, rate, subscribe. Thumbs up, thumbs down if you liked it. Whatever. If you didn't, whatever. Well, if you liked it, I love you. But if you didn't, I still love you. So, you know, leave me a comment. I don't get many of those nowadays. So, you know. Peace.